Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Got a little different camera angle this morning. Had some things I want to cover and I need to be over here to do it. Got a lot going on in today's video. A lot to do, so hang on guys, we'll be right back to talk about it. Hey guys, appreciate you tuning in. Today's video is going to be running our winding motor planer. We have got 1,500 square feet of red oak, 3/4 inch tongue and groove floor we got to make. This is going to be some high grade stuff. You can see it sitting in 2 stacks sitting there, and there's 3 more in the building over there. And the reason we're doing so much of this right now is the way customers work out. I'd rather be sawing on my 70, spitting out some lumber, but this stuff's been on the books since February, March. You know, time I cut it, dry it, get to this process, the customers are waiting on it. But I want to show you, there's going to be more of it coming. This pile has got to all be cut and flooring and dried. And then there's another pile of white oak over there that's got to be cut and dried. And then I've had numerous questions, people asking about our burn pile. I don't know why there's our recycling pile. I don't know why some people are so infatuated with it, but you know, here it is. That's as safe as you can get. That's about an 18-foot tall bank right there in the corner. Don't get much safer than that, people. If you're going to do that at your sawmill, then you need to take all the safety precautions you can. We'll walk down here, get out of the sunlight. It's early in the morning. Sun's popping over the horizon. Now, you can see our pile of red oak we got stacked in here, and like I say, there's 3 more over here in the other building. We just finished up a big job of white oak. Go here. Sorry about that. We just finished up a big job of white oak, and no 2 jobs being exactly the same could be so different. Yeah, let me get out of the sun, walk over here, and we'll talk about why. Okay, got in here, maybe the lighting's a little better, lighting. Now, why are these 2 jobs exactly alike, but completely different? Well, start with number 1. The last job, it was all customer lumber. This job is all my lumber. The last job, the white oak, the customer brought, you know, less than perfect logs. I told them there was going to be a lot of knotty, a lot of defect, a lot of character, and they were tickled to death with that. That's what they wanted. This customer wants exactly the opposite. They want as many 8-foot number 1s as they can get. Okay. Like I say, the last job was customer wood. This is my wood. So I'm providing the quantity of, you know, 1,500 feet of as close to number 1s as possible, and at least, you know, a usable number 2 to do their house with. So the stress is more on me for this job. On the other job, I didn't care. Well, I did care, but I mean, it didn't matter if it had defects, because we knew it had defects when we saw it. And all I did was, when we were going through it, I saw some places to high grade it, especially if a board went out there about 6 feet and had a knot and then it turned. Well, I'd have a 6-foot to 2-foot piece and they'd deal with it. I don't want to do that with this. I want as many 8-foot pieces as I can get. Now, if I get some that's bowed in the middle and I don't think I'm gonna have enough material to get a straight 6-foot board, then yeah, or 8-foot, then they're gonna get 2 4-foot pieces, and you know, they'll have to deal with it. But we want as many straight, beautiful 8-foot, 3/4 inch, probably gonna end up being 5 3/4 wide tongue and groove floorboards. They should be gorgeous. Now, we cut these out of number 1 logs. We cut that other out of not number 1 logs, okay? They were They were very gnarly, had a lot of limbs. These, if you watched the previous video, they come out of some big red oaks. That was just beautiful, great stuff. So that's where we're at. Matthew and I got to switch the machine over. We're going to switch it back to S4S this morning and run all these. They're currently at 1 1/4 before they dried. It's just 1.250. We want to run them all the way down to like 0.950 and get the width at like 6 3/4, and that'll be perfect for going 750 3/4 by 5 3/4. Let's say that right. Now we need to go 6 1/4 wide. I like to leave a 1/2 inch after we S4S it to pull it down to a perfectly straight finished 5 3/4 board. So enough chitter chatter. Let's get to work. Matthew showed up. He got his headphones on. He's ready to go to work. Mordecai keep you up last night? Yeah. Joy's a bit young, didn't he? Okay, hang on guys, we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. We didn't stop doing any talking there. Had a customer come by, had to deal with them a little bit, dropping off some wood. But we got that stack and a half run. I wanted to show you, this is probably some of the prettiest wood we've ever run through the motor planer. Look at that straight green red oak. Isn't that gorgeous? And most all of them are that way. Now these are S4S. The pretty side is turned down. The top side we really don't care about other than getting it sized down. We'll run our scallop cutter on it, and any defects that are on the top won't matter. Or top going through the machine. We run them through upside down. So the bottom face is what we want to be beautiful, and I'm quite happy with those. I wish we'd have cut them at 7 1/4. Maybe 7 3/8, because they dried up a little more than anticipated, but live and learn. We don't know everything. We learn just like you're learning. So we're gonna strap this up, get it out of the way, get another one set. That was our goal today, is run all these. We got 3 more bundles, so let's get to work. we went through the third stack. Now we're down to the last two, one here and one in there. All these boards over here are just going to be short of making 5 3/4. We'll go through them and pick the smallest number, you know, whatever, and edge them, and we're going to run them. They just won't be a finished 5 3/4. They might be a finished 5, but they're still going to go in the mix. Whew, I'm getting hot. I gotta get something to drink. We're gonna fire all this up and try to run this next stack before lunchtime. Okay guys, welcome back. It's Monday for Matthew and I. We was trying to get this finished Saturday and run out of time. Customers come by. We had one bundle left. We run it. It's sitting back over here. So everything has been S4S'd at 950 thousandths with the exception of this pile here. These were misfits. They wouldn't clear up. We were cutting them at 6 1/4, Matthew? Yeah. We wanted 6 1/4 wide, and these misfits just wouldn't make it. Either had a bad bow or they had drawn up too much. So we saved them and run them again at 5 1/2, and these will be their extras. They'll just be at 5 inches wide, where everything else is going to be 5 3/4. They can use them in the closet. They can use them in starter strips. I'd rather have it than not have it. We needed 1,500 board feet of 6-inch boards. We're gonna be close. We're gonna be right there at it, and these will make up the difference, so shouldn't be a problem. Now, our machine. We're currently set up to run S4S, so Matthew's in the process of switching it over. First thing I want to do is raise the head up while it's still got power on it. The reason we're raising the head is you gotta have the room here to get the tool in to loosen the head. Okay. And then he's gonna hit the safety stop. So the machine's dead. None of the buttons will work. Always gotta be safe with these. Now, what we're gonna change is this outboard head and inboard head. They're set up for S4S. They're coming off. We're gonna replace them with tongue and groove and get the elevation set and the width set. And then this top cutter here is set up for straight knife, and we need to switch that over to a scallop cutter for our hardwood flooring. Matthew's got it here in his hand. That's a good 50, 60 pounds. I ought to weigh it one day. It's heavy. So give us just a minute, go through this. We'll pull this head off here. Matthew probably micro hone it just a little bit while we're in here. Let me go ahead and break these loose. All I'm doing is just putting a little edge on this, micro honing. It's still sharp, but it's like your pocket knife. Sometimes you can just dress it a little bit. I've got 3 diamond holes here, and I'm not wanting to do anything other than just dress the edge. Not trying to grind it down. Just clean off the crap. I got a 180, a 260 grit, There you go. And I got a 360 grit diamond hole. Just got to make sure you get your fingers out of the way because it is incredibly sharp. There we go. That's all I want to do. Just dress that edge. I mean, it's sharp. It'll get you. So let's get this back on here. It needs to go in this way. Okay. Oh. You know what? That's a handful. You always want to make sure you know your rotation. This bottom head rotates clockwise, so the knife needs to introduce the wood, where this head turns counterclockwise. So if you put this head up here, you basically have to take it out, turn around, and put it in backwards. Okay, on to the next step. Matthew got our side cutters changed, got the numbers pretty close to where we need to be, close enough we can run a test piece. I'm gonna set up now and put all the spacers on. These spacers can be a little tedious because these cutter heads are short. So what you want to do is when this ring has locks in it, when you slide it down there, you don't want it to go below that shoulder. If it's slightly above that shoulder, you're good. Next thing you're gonna do, pull all these spacers out. This was the bottom. I want to turn it over and put the smallest spacer bottom down. That's the way winding recommends it. So we'll follow their recommendation. They got more practice in it than we got. So there. Nut on it. Start better. Okay. Next thing, take my key spacer off. Do the same thing. I'm gonna turn all of this back over on there. And nut. And these two are ready to retighten. Okay, the two side cutters are tight. The top cutter Matthew did was tight, and I'm going to retighten the outfeed cutter. Now, we got to reset the height adjustment because we switched from a straight knife to the scallop nut cutter. Okay. Now we're going from a 950 thickness to a 750. So we should have 200 thousandths to take out of it. So now I get to choose how much I want off this cutter, how much I want off this cutter, and then that back cutter is already set at 20 thousandths. It's not adjustable. We verified that the other day. So if you take 20 there, you take about 80 here, that's 100. And then that leaves 100 for the top cutter, and it leaves me a little room to move this one up or down. If I got a thin board, I may want to take a little less. If I got a thick board, I may want to take a little more. Same thing with the side cutter. This is your adjustment for how much this side cutter is taking off. All our boards run square at 6 1/4, and we're taking them to 5 3/4. And they'll actually end up, if you include the tongue, at almost 6. The tongue's like 3/16 long. So I won't need to take a lot off this side cutter unless I see a board that's got a little bow. Maybe all the bow didn't get cut out of the first one. I'm talking, you can't see me. That's what this is for, is you got a board that's got a bow in it, you can take a little more meat here and take the bow out. Now we did most of that in the S4S, but a lot of these boards were so close to clearing, I may still want to do a little bit on the side cutter. That'd be a game day decision on that one. Last thing Matthew's working on here is the chip breaker for the top cutter. it has to be adjusted since we were running a different radius cutter head. It has a different circle pattern, so we have to introduce that down. And the reason that's there is when your board goes through, it sets on top of it and keeps the board from shattering. And it's a chip breaker. When the chips come off, they come up through here and get evacuated. Okay guys, we're back. We run a couple test pieces of the misfit boards, got our numbers dialed in for its thickness. The width was spot on, we didn't change it. We did adjust the thickness just a little bit. Matthew's resetting the outboard cutter to bring us out to our 5 3/4 width. And I'll make a little adjustment on this first cut, up and down. And you may see me with the door open and I'm making an adjustment of the outside cutter, kind of in and out how much it's taking. Well, I want it to take a little bit, 1/8 of an inch, just, you know, last clear and pass. The front cutter will do most of the work, but that's where we're at. We've got a whole bunch of it to run, and unfortunately, the only way to get it done is just stand here and run it. So Matthew and I are gonna get our earbuds in, our hearing protection, and get to it. guys, welcome back. Little quick update. Sorry I didn't get a whole lot of filming done yesterday. We're real people doing real things, okay? I had a couple appointments yesterday afternoon I had to get to, and we worked right through till 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I had to run. Got those done, got back, and had a ball game for one of the granddaughters. Went to it, so forgot to do much filming. Just to be honest with you, we was so busy. We got all that red oak run, with the exception of the misfits here that didn't make it. We're right on our number. I'm talking dead on it, 1,500 board feet. If all these make good boards, and they will. But that's not where I want to be. This customer is a good customer. This is going in their forever home, and I want to make sure they have enough quality product to do what they're doing. So I want about 27 more boards, right at another 100 square feet, as a goodwill gesture on my part, to ensure that if they call a board for a reason that I didn't see while we were running them, because things happen, that one tongue may not have been good enough, or her groove may not have been just perfect, and when they put it together you can see a gap, because we were running these close. A lot of them were just barely making it. So we're going to go over here in my pile and dig out some red oak that's already dried. It's already been S4S'd once, and we're going to run about 27, 30 more boards, and we'll bump that number up to where I'm happy. And I can tell them, look, you got 1,500 board feet. I'll give you an extra 100 board feet. So if you have to cull something out, or if you misfigured a little bit, you come up a few boards short, it should be here. And that's where I talk about all the time, taking care of your customer. Customer's most important. Things happen. I mean, they may get a few boards in there they're not happy with. Throw them out. I've provided some more. It's good customer service. I've dealt with customer service here lately. Okay, technical difficulty, battery died. It happens. Like I said, I've dealt with good customer service and I've dealt with bad customer service. We had some issues with our LT70 when we first plugged it in. Excellent customer service, excellent standing behind their product. I didn't feel like I was out on an island. They were there to help. And I've had the opposite experience with some other things, like, well, you bought it, it's yours, suck it up, buttercup. And, that's not how we want to treat people. That's not how we want to be treated when something happens. Things happen. You buy things and they're no good. That's not the end. The end is how the company or individual you bought it from helps you resolve that problem, if it's their responsibility. So that's all I'm saying. It's easier now to push a little extra material out there and say, look, here's some extra. If you got a board that's not quite up to your quality, set it to the side. If you don't need it, you don't need it. And I always tell them that, unless it's something, one-off, hey, I try to keep some more. If you run a little short, give me a call. So I'm gonna go over here and look in my pile and dig out what we need. We're gonna run those this morning and get this done. This is 2 back-to-back big tongue and groove jobs, because we gotta get this LT70 running today. We got jobs piling up that's waiting on Matthew to do them. So that's the goal. Just run about 27, 30 of those, and I wanted to run it right now while the setup is exact. Now I can get it close. I could run these and then dial it back out and get it close, but I don't want it close. I want it perfect. And the way to do it perfect is run them all without changing the setting on the machine, and that's what we're gonna do. So hang on, let me get those boards, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we are done. That's a good word we've been looking for. It's a big project. There's 4 bundles over there. This makes the 5th bundle. Like I said, we're shooting for 1,500 board feet. We got a little over 1,600 board feet, so I'm happy. We had intended on having a 6-inch finished face, and we had to take it to 5 3/4, plus the 30 misfits that we had actually had to take to 5 inches. So that caused us to come up a little short. I wasn't worried about it because I knew I had a pile of extra inventory over there. But if you're doing a job like this, you got to factor in some extra in case you get boards that bow, warp, twist, crack, split. They're just not the quality that you're intending to sell the customer. So that's part of what you got to figure in doing this kind of work is waste. There's always a lot of waste with wood. The higher price you go, the higher ends you go, the more waste you're gonna have because people are expecting a level of quality. And that's what this was. They was expecting a high level of quality. And we had to coil a lot, cut out a lot, and straighten it up, do what we had to do to make the quality that we were looking for as well as the customer. But we got there, machine run flawlessly. That being said, you can't do this if you don't have a sawmill to start with. In our case, we got a new LT70, but all this was sawed on our LT35. You're gonna need some kind of kiln. Solar kiln's not gonna get it done, people. I get a lot of people arguing with me about that, but solar kiln is not a dehumidification kiln or one of these vacuum kilns. They're different. They will dry your wood, but not to the level that this wood was taken to. It's dry all the way through. It's stable. I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with it. And then at the end, you're going to have some kind of mold or planer. Matthew and I have made a lot of tongue and groove, V-groove by hand. And it's, you know, you can get by with it. But you can't, I wouldn't even imagine trying to start making this stuff on a shaper, you know, where you're doing the groove, then you're doing the tongue. Your quality of fitment is never going to be as precise as this machine. We can take 2 of them boards and lay them together. And if the board didn't bow a little bit, because boards bow, they'll just go click together perfect and there's a straight line. Now, the ones that bow a little bit, when you nail it, they'll tighten right up. But all things being equal, you can lay them on a flat surface, put them together, and they'll slide right in there, and there's an 8-foot long seam that's perfect. And if any of you that's done woodworking know that's hard to achieve on a table saw, you know, a joiner, different things. This machine makes it get there. So big shout out to Whiting. Whew, mouthful. Guys, as always, appreciate you watching. We got a new sponsor to our channel, Camel City Mills. We'll have an ad out here eventually, but you can check out Camel City Mills. You can use our discount code Bearded Lumber 10 to get a 25% discount off your socks. They are some amazing socks, but we'll cover that again later. Shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Greatly appreciate it. If you hadn't checked out Solomon's channel, Third Beard Fishing, I invite you to. If you're at all into fishing or South Florida, he's got a lot going on there. As I said before, big shout out to Wood Mizer. We appreciate him helping Bearded Lumber out, everything we do, especially Joe Maine. If you need saw blades, give him a call. Anything we're forgetting, Matthew?
Not that I know of.
See, he is here.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It's hard for me to pack a lot in here because there's so many hours behind this machine, and we don't want to bore you with an hour-long video of us just making boards, but it takes hours and hours to run all this. So that's going to do it. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.